Welcome to this video on how the Behringer X-Touch 1 can be used as a controller for DaVinci Resolve video editor. Yes, it's not just controlling the Fairlight audio engine, we can control the video editor with this MIDI controller device. By the way, it doesn't need to be the X-Touch 1, any MIDI device can be used. DaVinci Resolve is a highly popular video editor, and well, maybe part of its popularity is because it is really high quality and very versatile, but also because it's absolutely free. Go to their website, download it and install it, and you are on the go. Now, keyboard and mouse are enough to do all the video editing needed, but it can be very handy, or also just for fun. You could have a hardware controller like this. This is sold by Blackmagic Design themselves, called the Speed Editor. It looks like a high quality device. There are several videos about it and they are all very appraising of this unit. However, it comes with a quite steep price tag, and I happened to have one of these around on my desk. I use it for my digital audio workstation. This is a Behringer X-Touch 1 with which I usually control my DAW. However, it is a MIDI device. It sends out MIDI messages, but they can be translated into keyboard shortcuts, and via that route, we will see in a minute how that works, we can control DaVinci Resolve. Now, these texts here with the buttons, they will not be the correct ones anymore, but Behringer solved this by including in the package these handy plastic covers on which you can write your own texts. And the beauty of it all is it comes with a very nice price tag of just 150 euros. I bet in dollars it will be approximately the same or even less. Let's first see it in action, and after that we'll have a look how it is done. Over here we have a little video clip, and here bottom left you see the X-Touch 1 on my desk. This nice big scroll wheel can scroll through the timeline as can be expected. It makes steps of 1 second. There's also this pen controller and that can make steps of 1 frame at a time for a very precise placement of the timeline cursor. Then we also have this left and right button to jump to edit points. We have the zoom in and zoom out buttons over here, and also zoom to fit. The controllers over here, as can be expected, they control play and pause, and we can also press the stop button and then we will have play and return to the last position. And of course the fast forward buttons and the fast rewind buttons also work. We even have an audio scrub over here. Let me unmute this track and have a listen. We hear nothing. If I put audio scrub on, we hear. Yeah, that also works nice. The 6 function buttons over here, they can actually be used for anything you like them to do. What I did is use them for the modes that we have, the different modes, to add a new clip to the timeline. So let's have a look how this works. Suppose I want to add this cyan video clip. The first mode is append. If I press F1, it will just add that new clip at the end of the timeline. Let me zoom out to see that it really worked that way. Yeah, it worked. I have an undo button, that's this one over here. Click and it's undone. There's also a redo button, this one over here. Click and it is redone. They're quite handy to have those two on board. Well, let's step a few times to a new edit point over here. And suppose I would like to insert this cyan clip over here. That's function button 2. It inserts the clip at that position. And undo, it takes it back again. Let's press function button 2 and look, it has placed the new clip on top of the other clips. Undo, function button 4 is replaced. It's going to replace the green clip, but for the length of the green clip. And undo. We can also overwrite, then it will get its full length and it will overwrite any clip that is under it, like it did just now. And there also is a ripple override that will replace the green clip and then shift the others away. Look what happens. Yes, it works. That's totally different than insert, because then the green clip would have stayed. With insert, the green clip is also moved away. Those were the function keys for the edit modes, which by the way also work at exactly the same way in the cut mode of DaVinci, which is of course the mode you probably start in when you do new clips. Oh, while we are here, we can also let me double click this, we can have in and out points, and there are 2 buttons for that. Those are these 2 over here. So let me scroll through the timeline, or scroll in detail frame by frame, and say I want the in point to start here. Click, and there we have it. And then move over here. Then where the audio stops, I want to have my end point. That works perfectly well with these 2 buttons. Editing is just a breeze. Let me insert it again. Click, and there it is in the timeline. Then we have 7 buttons below the function buttons. Let's have a look at those. Let's return to edit mode. And well, the first button is called marker in the Xtouch one, and well, just for fun I made it place a marker. So if I press it, it places a marker there. Press again and I can fill in all the details for this particular marker. The next 3 buttons are used for controlling the edit mode. The first one is return to selection mode. In that mode, if I select a clip, I can move it around, but look, it leaves a gap. And if I move it back, it also leaves a gap over there. That's not the mode you probably will be working in very often. But of course, selection mode, yeah, is very good to just simply select something. Let me undo these actions, and let's now click the next button and see that it moves now to what is called trim edit mode. And in this mode we can slip a clip. Look, it moves the clip but doesn't move it on the timeline, so you get to see another portion of the clip, so to speak. Or if I move the mouse further below, then we are in slide mode, slip and slide. This is the slide mode. Now it moves the clip in the timeline, but it keeps its original length. The next button is the cutting blade. Yeah, it's activated right now, and if I cut over here, then I have split that video in 2. Back to select mode, as we can see over here. If I would now start to move a clip, then yeah, we can do that very precise, but sometimes you would like it to snap to certain points, and that is this magnet, and I use that quite often. So I made a toggle for it, this button over here, toggle the magnet on or off, and now yeah, our movements are more snapping to specific edit points, which can sometimes be handy, of course. Well, this was it for all these buttons. This video already became quite long. Let's do a next video, and there we'll talk about how this can be done. There are essentially 2 different ways. There's this program called Autohotkey, which we can use to read the MIDI instructions and translate them. Or there's an app called the Bome Midi key program, and that's the one we are going to use.